I've met the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. I've never seen her before.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. It is so good to ignore a little bit of the outside world and have a bit of light relief. Just talk about nonsense. I guess the first thing is how you holding up there?
All right, I think, Dave, we're not in isolation yet. I genuinely thought that Boris was going to throw out the old "we're in complete isolation." I do think it's hilarious that he said we're not closing down the underground, but I must stress you cannot go to places where there is a lot of people. Hello, underground. I know from Manchester, but I have been on the underground quite a lot recently with work. Like the odd day here or there in London, you have, Dave. Don't think your plan's working, Boris, you dickhead. So anyway, yeah, I think when we go in complete isolation, I'm just hoping that it starts in about 4 days when Disney Plus starts, Dave, because I'll have loads to watch.
I even tweeted Disney Plus. It's like, guys, come on, just fucking start.
I saw it
earlier.
Loads even come out, didn't they, the other day, say, look, we can't start it earlier. They probably fucking can, but they just... Anyway, it's probably to do with the apps.
I guess, yeah, it'll be a whole IT rollout thing, to be honest. So they'll probably up against it just to hit that deadline anyway. So it's not just a case of flicking a switch, unfortunately. But I thought it was worth a go, you know?
No, exactly. I've got to say, though, Dave, we're going into episodes. And what about you? Sorry. So what about yourself, Dave? How have you been over the last few days?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, we've got just enough, I reckon, for about a week and a half to get through, me and the kids, and so we'll be fine. I guess I'm trying to stay off social media, to be honest, at the minute. What do you reckon to that whole Gal Gadot Imagine thing that went
right.
on?
Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you. So, let's see if you fucking wank. I didn't even know you were going to say that.
Right. I know. Is this a bus coming along? Here we go.
So, right. Gal Gadot, who is Wonder Woman, they've done this video of Imagine where basically various actors and actresses are doing a line out of the song. So I seen it. I was like, oh, it's pretty good, this. Thinking, it's pretty good. I'm fucking bored out of my head yesterday. I've been for my morning, couple of mile walks, keep the fitness up and that while I can't train and all this, And I'd gone shopping and it was fucking bedlam. And I was like, well, I'm not going in there because Aldi was like 300 meters deep of people waiting to go in, which is pathetic. Anyway, I come back. And I'm like, I'm going to do something. I've got a TikTok account, so I was going to go and do a bit of a daft TikTok video because I'm competing with my niece at the moment, so she gets the more views. And I'm beating her on pure videos, but she's beating me for content because she's putting videos out every day, so I need to up my game. So I was like, right, I'm going to do something stupid. So get the Captain America hat, get the cape and the cape, get the shield and that. I thought, right, I'm going to do something with that. Anyway, I'm on Twitter and I see this Imagine, so I thought it's pretty good. I like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. I thought, yeah, nice. So they're all different actors and actresses singing a line out of it. I thought, you know what? Fuck these celebrities and that, because it is all me. And Chris says this as he tells you what he did next. So I decided to find Imagine on YouTube and put it on the telly, and I do a little intro and I went, right, so, and luckily, Dave, I've never sent it you, which you'll never see light of day. I get fucking roasted. So basically, I sang the first verse, and being an ex-singer, I did vet it. I may have done about 3 cuts. Well, that's true. That's why I don't do it anymore. But I did do 3 cuts of it, thinking at least one of them, because the end bit, I say that I'm a dreamer, and he goes a bit high. I was like, just get that bit a little bit. So anyway, I did it. It was all dry on the phone and that. And I thought, you know what? I'm happy with that going out there. And I did like a little thing saying, if anybody, I think I'm going to tag my friends. And I teed you up first, Dave, and said, look, Dave, this is cool. Like, I'm not committing to anything. I was like, you fucking are, because I'm tagging you first. But then just as I was about to press the button to put this tweet out, trying to get like all our friends, listeners to sort of do a line and film themselves, holy fuck, the backlash on this video online. And I went, this is why, Dave, you're the planner and the methodical one. I'm fucking bully in a china shop who has a personality trait. He's completely fucking knee-jerk reaction isn't even in it with me. I just go with fuck it. I just go 100%. My head goes and I'm in something like straight in. And I am so glad I didn't send that tweet. I would have got the piss ripped out of me. And two, they've got absolutely laced online. People are like, just fucking open your wallets, you fuckers. A multimillionaire, boo-hoo, who's not happy, you know, in the mansion and all this. And I'm like, all right, Chris, let's leave it. You know, and I text you.
So I haven't honestly seen a lot of the backlash and that, but I just think, you know, Lennon, he was talking about greed and you know, warmongering and stuff like that. You can't sing a virus into fucking you know, apathy. So I just found the whole thing bizarre, but it fucking would have been a little bit funny, to be honest.
Not
as funny as you getting signed off with your operation and then the whole world closing down, but you know, still pretty funny.
I'm so fucking glad I never sent that video now. I was going to send it you first, and I was like, fuck that. I am so glad it never saw the light of day. Anyway.
I was thinking that we should start like a tweet, like say, I know a song that will get on your nerves. Right? I'll do the first bit, you do the second bit, and like a conga, we'll start it on Twitter. No one will join us, and then I bet no one will.
No one will, Dave.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you're all doing okay up there. Chris, I normally ask you, where do you want to start today? But I've got to say, surely there is only one place to start, and that is Mark and Jessica. So
yes,
what do you make to those two today? Because I was absolutely loving it, to be honest.
I was crying. So what I've got to say about Love Is Blind, Dave, which I think is fantastic, is the fact that they actually do live with each other. Yes, there's cameras on them on certain, like there's a staged event at the end where all like the couples get together and all that stuff. But genuinely, they have to live in each other's pockets, which is what this experiment's about. And I applaud it. It's not a fake relationship like fucking Love Island and all the other nonsense, and you get a lot of them splitting up. Genuinely, they have committed to, you know, get married and they're engaged and all that. And they've got to live with each other. And what I loved about Jessica, Dave, I tell you what, she's horrible person. I don't like it at all. I think she's horrible. And Mark's desperation is just getting worse and worse by the episode. But she is not a nice person. But what was funny was when she went in his apartment, he's got like one pillow and he lives in like a cubbyhole of his mate's fucking house. He's like, brown on brown on brown. Oh, you've got a couple of games consoles. I'm thinking, whoa, don't be slagging the games consoles off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's just got a little fucking house. They go to her house and it's absolutely immaculate in it. It's absolutely everything. Beautiful house. She obviously, you can see she's got a good job and that. But as the episode goes on, she just deteriorates and deteriorates and deteriorates. And by the end of it, she's just like somebody who plays a drunk in a show, doesn't she? She's absolutely fucking wankered by the end of the episode.
It's brilliant though, isn't it? I mean, I can't decide if I'm sympathetic to Mark. I think I am quite a lot, but it's still bloody funny. I mean, the problem is she's sensing the fact that Mark will basically say anything. He will go with anything. And I can't make my mind up if he's just like that and he's trying to make as much compromise. You know, he seems like a bit of a mummy's boy, so you know he's probably had it drummed into him. You know, marriage is about compromise and stuff, and it is about compromise. It's not about giving up absolutely everything. As I was sat there watching it, I'm thinking, like, you know, if Jessica said, like, oh, you know what I think's really sexy, a Prince Albert. Right? He'd be like, oh yeah, I'm totally down with that. Yep, having a needle rammed down my cock is I was thinking of doing that already. You know, she basically can't say anything that will put him off at all. And you could see she was saying, you know, no one is that emotionally available, so she's suspicious of it. But regardless of whether he was like that or not, she's just trying to come up with every excuse under the sun. And it was so embarrassing, to be honest, when she was getting more pissed at the birthday party, and she's practically leaning over the chair and trying to sit on Barnett's lap. And I don't know if you noticed, but Barnett was sat sort of at the opposite end of the chair.
Yeah.
He was so bad but I thought he fucking got her because, she's moaning on and stuff and she's saying, "Oh, you're above me. Oh, I come out naked every day. Oh, no, silly me," but she was talking about all the reasons why she doesn't connect with Mark and what have you. And he's like, "But why did you say yes?" And I was
And
like,
he's right.
fucking got you there, hasn't he? You've got no answer for that.
No, he's totally right, because just before that, honestly, Dave, it was fucking cringe job. My hands were literally covering my eyes. I was like, "Oh my God, you are horrid." And she's talking to Mark, and she goes, hey, dude, he just keeps talking about his mom and comparing. And then Mark was just getting more and more fucking. He's picked that shovel up, and that shovel was getting the hole was getting deeper and deeper because we'd not seen it. It'd not been edited in that. He'd been comparing her to his mum. She's like, "Well, I don't want to be your mother." No. Nobody compares to my mum. And I'm like, "Oh, Mark, you are dropping a bollock here, mate." And he's like, "You're there. I love you." No, my mum's different. It's not, she'll love whoever I love. And I'm thinking, fuck me, mate, shut up. However, I thought it was her being nasty. And because she was pissed, he was giving that stupid eye thing where she can't hold her eyes on. She's looking at him, turning her head, and she fucking hates him. She despises him. He really does, Dave. And you're right. And a conversation with Barnett was as much as I don't like Amber, and we'll get onto them in a minute, it was disrespectful to Amber, because Amber even said if I thought there's a problem, I'd fucking deck her sort of face in. And
I believe her.
I believe the same. But they're playing beer pong, and as soon as she came over, she just grabbed the fucking Mark. Went, "I love this guy, yeah." And I'm like, "Fuck off, you absolute blagger. You are absolutely ruining this guy's fucking life right in front of his eyes."
Like I say, I feel more sorry for him than I do find it really funny. But I hope he watches this back and he just recognizes something in himself, because he's saying to the camera, and I don't know if Jessica hates Mark, but she's got zero respect for him. That's the problem. And she goes over and she's wrapping her legs around Mark and everything and kissing him and stuff, and so he's saying, "Oh, I'm getting all these mixed signals." Mark, that wasn't for you. That little display there was all for Barnett, and unfortunately he just can't see it. But I was sort of halfway in between laughing and feeling sorry for him. But basically, when she's absolutely pissed up off on the bed, and she's saying, "I think Barnett's really sexy and hot," and that was it. Finally, old Lord Farquhar fucks off, and he goes onto the sofa or couch, and she's like, "Babe."
I know. I just said that some other bloke I fancy, but any chance you can come give me a cuddle? Hold my hair while I'm being sick in the toilet. Yeah.
I mean, she is proper gone. And again, I do enjoy a drink, Chris, but there is a problem there, because you can see while everyone else is sort of sipping away at their drinks, she's just knocking them back constantly. You never see her like not drinking. She'll say a sentence, "Have a drink." And unfortunately, it's fucking very unattractive. There's a lot of unattractive things about her personality, but when you get a lot more pissed than everyone else around you, that's a problem.
Yeah, and she seems like the type where she gets that pissed, she wants to tell everyone how she really feels. She's one of them, isn't she? Like, true feelings come out. I mean, you're right. He needs to have more respect for himself. And I hope by doing what he did in this episode and sort of saying to her, "No, you know what? I've reached my limit now. You're taking the piss." That he either fucks her off, or she has a bit of a come to Jesus moment and thinks, "You know what? I am being horrible, disrespectful to him." Because genuinely, she's not coming out of it nice. Now, also, Dave, I'm still on the Amber train. I'm sorry. I'm not liking it. I don't really. I'm not necessarily.
What has she done to you? She remind you of someone in the past or something?
I don't know.
I don't see what
I don't
you're
like
saying.
her. I don't like Barnett either, to be honest. But I think they go to Barnett's house, and it all's come out now, innit? She's in fucking debt up to her eyeballs. I live to work.
Yeah.
I
Work
don't pay me
to live.
rent. Sorry, I work to live. I've not paid me fucking bills. I'm 20 grand in debt. Barnett's fucking flat is a shithole anyway. He's got clothes everywhere. His bed's not been made for like 3 or 4 weeks since he's been on holiday.
Yeah.
He gets in the bath and he goes, "Oh, I won't get in there." And she's like, "What? Like the dog's obviously having a shit or a piss in the fucking bath." It's just, his house is a fucking pigsty. And he's got clothes everywhere. And she's like, but then when they were talking, I'm thinking, you know what, Dave, you're right. I don't know what it's about, but she really gets my back up. However, I think these two are a match because I think Barnett's been playing the camera as well because he's just a bit of a dick, to be honest. I don't like these two at all. If they stay together, they seem very well suited because it looks like it's going to be organised chaos more than anything.
So, I mean, I must admit, the thing with the debt, I think she's got some problems, and again, when they were in the pods, we kind of got a little window into some of that. Working to live is a sustainable thing. If you're 24 and in what did she say, like 20 grand or something like that,
grand, yeah.
and it's going to be more than that. That will be an underestimate. That she's lowballed herself there. So I think she needs to sort that out. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not seeing it the same way as you, though. I think clearly, Barnett, bit of a slob. Hang your fucking clothes up. It's not hard, But I'm impressed with how Barnett has dealt with Jessica, because again, if we look at like Love Island and stuff, even if someone is coupled up, quite often you see them, they're quite flirty with someone else. And, basically Jessica is absolutely throwing herself at Barnett. And he's not being a dick. He's not being disrespectful or anything, but he is giving her nothing back at all. And I think I like that about him. The fact that, he's not giving Jessica any reason, or Amber any reason, to have any doubts whatsoever. And so that's what I quite like about him. And they are good as a couple. They might come out of this series with some kind of media career, mightn't they? So, and pay off all the debt that way. So no, I'm on that train, to be honest. I think they're a good couple. They're not perfect people, but yeah, I don't know what's triggering you about them.
Bastards, the pair of them. Anyway, we got a little insight, Dave. Are we starting to see a little crack in Lauren and Cameron's relationship? I mean, they go to Cameron's house. It's really nice in it. He's got a lovely house. She goes to see it. Look, I might be wrong, but she's looking like she's getting a bit of cold feet there, Dave. There's a little bit of something going on, and I don't know whether it's the reality of the fact that she's going to be living with this guy, and that I'm not sure. I mean, he wound her up about the toothbrush thing, saying we shared toothbrush, and he was joking. She's like, "Oh, that's nasty," and all that. But I genuinely don't know whether she's in it, because he started fucking crying. It was like, "Whoa, what is going on here, mate? You're just really emotional."
Yeah, there's something more going on there, isn't there? And we haven't seen this from this couple. We haven't seen any cracks at all. They've just been totally solid. But then in the outside world, reality's sort of hitting home a little bit. I couldn't quite get what Cameron was going on about. He's obviously in a previous relationship. And again, he didn't allude to what actually broke them up. But I don't know. I think he was getting quite emotional, and I don't know if that was over his previous relationship or if that was where he is with Lauren right now. But I mean, yesterday I predicted, yep, they're definitely going to get married. But it's a little bit of a wobble. I'm not saying they're going to career off the tracks or anything, but yeah, it was the first time. I'm still. Again, I'm still bought into this couple. I think, as we discussed yesterday, they're going to have some serious sort of grown-up discussions. Again, when you're in the pods or when you're on the honeymoon, it's all fine. It's when real life hits, and that's where they need to make sure they're strong for each other.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I think they're probably the most solid couple in the actual experiment at the moment. I mean, Kelly and Kenny, I don't know. They're just like fucking background extras in the TV soap.
Fucking Kelly couldn't even be asked to be there. She fucked off to some conference or something, and I'm like, well, if your work is that important to you, what are you doing on the fucking show?
Exactly. I honestly, I've got no horse in the rat race with either of them two. I'm not even bothered about them. However, I have got a bone to pick, Dave, with Giannina. Now, I know I've been hot on Damien, calling him a bit of a boring fucker and that. I still stand by that. However, this argument she had at the end of the show just seemed like she was attention seeking with all the other housemates. I mean, Jessica was fucked at this point. She couldn't even stand. She's like hiccuping and she's like trying to look with one eye open as if to say, what the fuck's going on over there? Maybe my relationship is just as bad. She also on it like the comedy drunk. I feel like fucking Sue Ellen off fucking Dallas. She was fucking livid. But Giannina then having a pop at Damien and I'm thinking, I don't know what he's done. How has this even escalated? I didn't get it at all.
You know what? We are seeing everything differently today. So I thought I couldn't quite work out what Damien was saying. Right. So he was talking. So Cameron and Lauren were sat down, and I couldn't quite work out what the conversation was that he was having, but Lauren was clearly uncomfortable with the line of questioning, and Damien was saying, "Oh, well, you know, I like to ask difficult questions. You know, that's what I do, and you know, it can bring out the best in people." But I was like, "No, that sounds like an excuse for just being a dick." You know, and so I don't know. I probably should have rewound it, but I didn't want to. No, I thought he was being. He was making Lauren uncomfortable, and that was what Giannina was upset with. So she decided to just walk off. She decided to walk off because he was being a bit of a tit. But then, you know, because of that, then he grows a set of bollocks and he starts biting back at this point. But again, he's throwing stuff out there like, you know, I've been listening to you since day one, you know, and a lot of drama and frustration obviously spilled out there. I think early in the episode, what did he say? Oh, that was it. She says, I've got all these different outfits. I've got a different outfit for every mood. And Damien's like, oh, that's why you got so many outfits, though. But then he's like looking at the camera like, fuck, you know. And I was thinking at that point, I've bitten off more than I can chew here. So, you know, I think she's a bit too much for him to handle. But yeah, so I think Damien was being a cock in that scenario.
All right. Very good. You know what? I'm going to go back and watch that in case I'm wrong. I'm happy to correct myself, but I thought it was her just being a proper diva, to be honest. But I'm going to go back now, Dave. You've done me there. It's put a bit of doubt in my mind.
I'd have to go back and watch it again myself just to properly dissect it. But that's just until you said, you know, that's you saw it a different way. I just assumed the way I saw it was right. So as Brian Clough would say, let's agree that I was right.
And move on. Yeah, one of us is right and it's not you. Yeah, I know that one. But no, a good episode again, Dave. And obviously, we're over the halfway mark now. We're going into episode 7. The harsh reality of real life is going to real tell. And honestly, for a reality show, I'm really surprised they've gone down this route because this is what it's about. We always talk about Love Island about, well, how they're going to go when they get out and they've got bills and they're not going to be together 24/7 and they've got life and they've got struggles and all that stuff. This is what this is about. And obviously it's not filmed day by day or anything like that. But however, I'm presuming it's this whole sort of being together scenario. We've got 19 days, haven't we, at the moment, till the wedding. So they've got nearly 3 weeks of living together or trying to coexist. So I'm really interested. We've got 7, 8. So we've got 4 episodes left. So I'm really interested in how it plays out, to be honest. But again, fucking great TV. Absolutely great to watch.
It is. I think, again, I think if you took Jessica and Mark out, I'm not sure how entertaining it would be. But I'm loving it. You know, this last couple of episodes, I think, have been absolutely brilliant. One thing I will concede with you, though, I just remembered it now. When they were initially talking about, you know, being in all the apartments together and stuff, and Amber thrusts her hand in the air and says, "How thick are the walls?" I must admit, in that moment, I just thought, "Oh, fuck off!" You know, it's too much. And you could see Lauren's face was like, "Oh, give me a break." You know, it's like, I'll give you that. you know, if you're not liking that couple, certainly in that moment, I just thought, yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, it's childish, to be honest, isn't it? It is
Yeah,
childish.
you're not at fucking school. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. So, if you want to get in contact with the show, guys, at Love Island Cast on Twitter, the Love Island Cast at gmail.com. And as always, drop us a review on your podcast catching app and just give myself and Dave a nudge if you put it on anything else other than iTunes. So, Dave, great episode. Thank you again, my friend. Loving it. And I'm going back to check on Giannina and Damien.
Nice. And I'm going to read out a review that I told you about before.
Well, while you do that, I'll put Netflix on.
No, so thanks ever so much. So we've got another one from the US, Chris, and it's entitled Another US Listener Who Loves This Show. And it says, Americans generally do not have anywhere near the level of chat and banter as the British. So this podcast is a delight to listen to. Thank you for the podcast. And that is from Madison in Wisconsin. So thank you ever so much for that. Absolutely brilliant. And again, if you want to, like Madison, send in those reviews, that would be absolutely lovely. And we'll read out everyone. And we're going to catch those Love Island official buggers. And
yeah,
we're probably about, 37,000 away now. So one at a time, we will get there.
Exactly. And I don't think Wisconsin's any closer to Vegas, Dave. I'm still sticking with California. I'm going to do a bit of I'm going to start on the East Coast, and I'm going to basically bed hop with all our listeners till I get back to Vegas. And at the moment, everywhere's shut down in Vegas. No, spare bed hop, Dave, or sofa hop, maybe. We should have reworded that. Yeah.
Couch surfing. It's amazing, isn't it? I'm honestly humbled. I mean, a couple of mates chatting shit about reality TV, and at the minute, you know, most of our listeners are in the US, aren't they? I mean, UK is a close second, but truly humbling.
No, it's great. Honestly, I love it. I love it when we read them out, especially when I forget that we've got them, Dave, and you read them out. But I really...
Well, you look after the emails, don't you? And I'll look after the reviews. So
all right, fair enough.
I'll let you off.
Thanks, mate. All right, so we'll see you till tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.